Welcome to the Be Well and Ground podcast, where we come together to nurture our bodies, our families, and our lives in a way that's sustainable, healthy, and full of heart. I'm your host, Emily, and each week we'll connect with wellness experts, passionate professionals, and fellow mamas to bring you practical tips and inspiration on everything from motherhood and health to gardening and low-tox living. This is a space for community where we lift each other up with actionable advice, support, and the tools you need to create more balance in your life. Whether you're looking to grow your garden, simplify your wellness routine, or just find that little bit of peace in your busy day, we've got you covered. So grab a cup of tea, join the conversation, and let's journey toward a more balanced, more vibrant life together. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Be Well and Ground podcast. Today I'm sitting down with Meredith, a fellow mom, multi-passionate entrepreneur, and a co-owner of the Diet Doc movement. She's juggling lots of hats with motherhood always at the center and figuring out balance as she goes. We're diving into what it really looks like to juggle business, motherhood, personal growth, and all the behind the scenes stuff that people really don't always talk about. Meredith shares how she built a business that aligns with her values, how she navigates change, and why giving yourself permission to evolve matters so much. So sit back, get comfy, and let's jump into the heart of today's topic. Welcome, Meredith. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. I actually met you through iShine when I was going through teacher training. I remember taking your class because it was a requirement, and I absolutely adored your playlist and I adored your sequencing. It was very perfect and inspiring and kind of what I use in my current practices. I just love your music and the way that you sequence. We have similar styles, so I loved it. And then kind of through the years, we've got to get to know each other a little bit more through various things. I've had your daughter in my toddler yoga classes, which has been so fun. But then the more I talked to you, the more that you opened up about your current business and your past experience. And I thought you were just an amazing person. So I wanted to have you on and just kind of learn a little bit more about you. So if anyone doesn't know who Meredith is, would you mind just giving me a couple sentences about who you are, or just kind of like a quick little bio of what you do?
Oh, goodness. Are you familiar with Marie Forleo by chance? She's a business coach
Yes.
and she's an author. She wrote the book, Everything is Figure Outable. She's got Marie TV. So she's like my spirit animal, if that's to have a spirit animal in a human form. And she had a quote that was pivotal in who I am, especially as a business professional. She claims to be a multi-passionate entrepreneur. And when I read that and I heard her say that, it was like, that's how I describe myself, because I always struggle when people are like, so like, what do you do? The only thing that has given me clarity in being able to answer that question that you asked me is I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I'm a mom. If people leave my presence and don't know anything about me other than the fact that I'm a mom, I'm totally okay with that. That's my newest title as of the last years. And
Yes.
it's probably not the most like sexy hook into a podcast.
No, this is a mom podcast, so it's perfect.
But yeah, I'm a mom. I am a working professional. I am a wanderlust at heart. That sums it up into three little pockets of what it is I am and what I do.
I love that. And I think one of the other things that I remember when I first met you was you were also into running, right? You used to do, or currently still do, was it the relay long
Yes.
races? Yeah,
Yeah.
there's one in Key West or something.
Yes. So I won't claim that I'm a runner, but that do sign up for ultra marathon relays, but only if they end in some luxurious vacation spot.
Ooh, that's the way to do it though. Nice little reward at the end.
Yes. So I've been a fitness professional, which also Marie Forleo is. So that's probably my kindred spirit through hers. I've been a fitness professional since 2011. I never loved running until I had a client. There may or may not have been wine involved in conversation with the client. She was a marathon runner, and she said, let's do the Keys 100. It's a 100-mile relay. And I said, say less. But I didn't hear her say run through the Keys. I just heard end in Key West. Ever since then, ultra, it's taken a backseat to parenthood.
Right.
through pregnancy and into motherhood.
You inspired me because I was like, "Oh my gosh, this girl's running these ultra things. It's insane." And I never did a 10K at the time. So you inspired my 10K because I was like, "I think I could go past a 5K, right? I could totally do that." And then I eventually did my first half, which eventually I would love to do a full, but again, pregnancy right now, gotta wait.
Yeah,
But
you're another breed because when I say I do ultra marathons, people are like, "Oh my gosh, you run 100 miles? You run 200 miles?" No, I'm running like 2 to 4 miles at a time. I'm just quickly getting through 2 to 4 miles so I can then go sit in a van with my friends and hang out and have fun. Then I have another 2 to 4 mile stint like an hour later. I am not clocking 100 miles. I am hanging out with my friends and we happen to take like hour breaks to actually go run.
that's amazing though. But to have to run 4 and then go run 4 is very challenging.
Well,
Just
I've never run over a 10K. Can you believe that? A 10K is the longest running stretch I've ever done. And I don't
wow.
know if I could do it again
I know
because
you
it's
could. I believe in everything's figureoutable, right?
true. There's a training plan for that, I'm sure,
Yes,
but
there is.
I have desire to want to figure that one out.
I
And it's
gotcha. That's awesome. Well, great. So you mentioned that you're a multi-passionate entrepreneur, which I love. So one of the passions is your current business, correct? Do you want to tell me a little bit more about that?
yes. So I co-own the Diet Doc movement with a dear friend of mine, Alexa Miller. And it is a nutrition consulting service. We always say that we have the least sexy sale to our business because we just want to teach people how to eat
Mm.
based on nutrition science and mindset and macros. And we talk about movement because we're both personal trainers as well. But yeah, we have been in business together since, gosh, 2018. And now we live in 2 different states and we've continued to grow it. And we've recently hired a few contractors to be coaches under us. And I love seeing people invest in themselves through be it fitness, nutrition, mindset, but nutrition specifically because it's a relationship that we have with food. It's not just macros, it's not just counting calories. There's this relationship that I'm trying to foster and nurture and ideally better that relationship. But yeah, I love it. It's a way to, as my career has evolved, to stay in the coaching seat and work with clients one on one, which I love.
So how did that kind of path create itself? Did you guys have this inspired with you too? And you're like, we should do this? Or talk me through how that kind of formatted itself.
Yeah, so Alexa and I actually we were both managing different departments in a gym
Okay.
to, and then she ended up purchasing the club, and so
Oh.
was then managing her club. At the time, I was training a lot of clients, so just in personal training, group training, yoga, but I had realized that I was itching for the next pivotal move in my career or pivotal add-on to my career. And I had thought, do I go back to school for physical therapy or do I pursue something in nutrition? The only reason I kept coming back to nutrition was because of how intertwined it was with the clients I was currently working with.
Mhm.
A lot of individuals hire a trainer because they want to lose weight, they want to feel good naked, they want to their clothes. And I realized that if we weren't talking about nutrition, not a whole lot is shifting in their body composition.
Oh, yeah.
So I had voiced that with Alexa, and she had introduced me to the diet doc. She said, "Have you ever heard of it?" And I had not. So we
Mhm.
actually worked directly under, at the time, the CEO of the company and his partner, Dr. Joe Klimczewski and Dr. Corey Probst. And being a client opened my eyes to macro tracking and flexible dieting and how Dr. Corey is a health psychologist. So she really tapped into my yoga woo woo side.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, it's showing me that hey, it's not just, you're not just talking about sodium and water retention. You're not just talking about calories in an apple versus calories in a piece of chicken. You're also helping people develop that relationship.
Mhm.
So disjointed that we have as it. So I was a client. I said, I love this. How can we be part of it, Alexa? And she goes, well, they offer licenses to be diet doc clinicians. And I said, Okay, I'm going to do it. And she goes, whoa, 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 I'm going to do it too. Let's do it together. And we started a company and we launched it out of her facility initially.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, what location was that? Was that locally here? Or
No, so that was in little old Lima, Ohio, North.
oh, okay,
She's-
nice.
She still runs an Anytime Fitness up there. She's
Okay,
still the face of the diet doc there.
okay.
In 20, I moved to our area, Charlotte, Huntsville area, and had partnered with an Anytime Fitness here. But
Ah,
COVID essentially, and I like to find the silver lining. I tread lightly when I say COVID.
I know.
Actually, there was a blessing in disguise in the sense that we were offering electronic coaching, which was very hard for people in our club to understand that because they were like,
Mhm.
oh, I just want to knock on your door and get the answer. It's like, yes,
Right.
but like coaching day, I'm going to send you a whole slew of information online. But when the world shut down, our business kind of took off
Yeah.
because online nutrition coaching made sense. Wait, nothing changed, even though
Yeah.
you live in the state. I still get to talk to you regularly. So now we run it and we've serviced clients all over the US, but we have our two hubs, our two home locations in Ohio and North Carolina.
So I guess my question was like, what's one challenge? And I would say perhaps COVID during that time, but it seemed like that did benefit you. So was there another challenge that most people don't see in regards to wellness about growing a wellness business in general?
Yeah, I think it's such a noisy space in the
Mhm.
online world,
Yeah.
especially the online coaching world, that, like I said, like we're not selling anything sexy. We don't have any taglines, or we're not like, we'll fix your hormones, or we guarantee 30 pounds in 10 days. Like all of those falsely led claims grab the attention of consumers. Those with millions of followers can make any claim and
Mm.
they'll seem legit, they'll seem educated, they'll seem back because of their follower count, both of which Alexa and I are not after. We're
Yeah.
after making an impact on people's lives ethically, morally, understanding our scope of practice, probably too much so that we'll sacrifice a sale
Mm.
if it means that we're working with a certain population of people, that people understand our credentials. So that's the hardest part, is because we are competing against
Yeah.
those that sell a similar, if not the same service as us, that have more notoriety. But we're not in it for the notoriety. We're in it to like make an impact on like regular normal people like us.
I think that's probably why it resonates with so many people too, because they can kind of tell the difference between that and see how much more they get from you guys and the education and the personable piece of it that you guys offer, which I think is amazing that you guys do what you do.
It's always heartbreaking, but at the same time rewarding when we get a new client and they come to us with their tail between their legs because they ate something. And it's like, wait, why would you ever apologize for something that you ate? I'm here to educate you, help you get to your goals, but it shows me that there are coaches out there that have that level of expectation of like, I'm your coach, you do what I say. Like you're wrong. And that's not what nutrition coaching should be. I
Yeah.
think it just exacerbates the disordered eating that so many people face. So yeah, that's a little of like our philosophy and a challenge that we see, but we'll stick firmly to that philosophy and sacrifice the sale for it.
Well, that's amazing. I think that goes a long way, and I really think it makes you guys stand out in that wellness field that is kind of clouded now with so many other influencers or popular people saying things, and they just trust just because you have a massive following that you know what you're saying. So that is really amazing. This is a perfect segue because my daughter woke up from her nap, and I was just about to ask you about mom life, running a business. So, how is it being a toddler mom, and how has that affected your business? Yeah, go into that. Oh gosh.
I love it. So when Alexa and I recorded our podcast, I can't tell you how
Mhm.
many times we've had a plus one, and she's got 3 kids.
Oh my
So
gosh.
at some point, we've had every one of the kids on the podcast. So
I was thinking about that. I was like, are you wanting to come sit with me or are you wanting just to play? So we might have to do that. No,
I
that's part
more
of it, right?
it is. I think that encompasses what motherhood, like you
Hmm.
have to be flexible,
Right. Yes.
especially in business. The best distraction ever, but it is a very hard distraction. they're never not on your mind. So
Right.
it's always a distraction, whether they're in your presence or not. And it's the most beautiful gift that us men in business could receive.
Yeah.
And I think only us women are capable of
Yeah.
juggling that. I would say, and not to talk about COVID again, but prior to COVID, I was absolutely a workaholic. I did it out of joy.
Yeah.
So post COVID, and when my career was ramping back up, once
Mm.
the world opened, I had those tendencies to kind of fall back into work comes before everything. Uh,
Mm. Yeah.
but get pregnant, your body tells you that's not a choice anymore. And then when you
Right.
a child, they are the perfect reminder to not allow that to happen.
Hmm.
As I think just as much as I want to excel in my career, I want to excel even more in motherhood. So
Hmm.
it's like, okay, I've had to learn to throw myself into motherhood, which means I'm, saying no in the work
Yeah.
set.
Has there been any like strategies that you find has been helpful to help you balance, work, mom, your personal wellness, any of those things that you've like, wow, this actually really works well, or anything like that you found?
Saying no.
That's a great one. Yes. Saying
Uh,
no.
yeah, it's just saying like, you can contact me if you want between the hours of 4 and bedtime, but
Yeah.
probably not going to respond. And like, I have to be okay with that. And you have to be okay with that.
Hmm.
Asking for help.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Asking for help. I think the biggest one is that flexible mindset of saying your work days aren't going to look like what they used to be. Your
Yep.
workouts are certainly not going to look
Yes.
like what they've been. Uh,
Yes.
and being okay with like I mean, we met through yoga.
I know.
I miss teaching yoga dearly. I loved
Mm.
video. I love practicing. That's like one of my other callings in life
Mm.
is to be on my mat and teaching other people about the philosophy and the movements and the benefits of it.
Yeah.
But I had to say, you know what, that right
Yeah.
now is not something that I can wear on my name tag because I gotta prioritize something, and that's gonna be
Right.
my over,
Yeah, we
over
can't do it all, even though we want to, and even though I tell myself I can.
being flexible, having a
Hmm.
flexible mindset, having a growth mindset, being okay that things aren't going to be this picture perfect Excel sheet that has
Hmm.
worked for, 30 some odd years. That's not really an option anymore.
Yeah. It's cool. He can be very creative in different ways to get something done. At first, I'm like, what did I do with all this time? Prior,
Yes.
like, what was I doing? I'm so much more efficient now because I have to be. It's just like, where did all the wasted time go? I could have done
And
so much
surely
more.
I was bored before, right?
Right?
Like,
I don't know. It's so,
I lust for being bored again, but like
yeah.
never before motherhood.
It's so different. It's such a different perspective. Is there something that you like to prioritize every day just for yourself? Even just like a little? Like what is that priority for you that kind of keeps you going?
I think before I had my daughter, I would have said, oh, I'm going to be the mom that still goes to the gym 5, 6 days a week. And, because that was my career, that was my safe space, what I did. And I'm not. I told myself after I gave birth that I would prioritize like a non negotiable 3 workouts per week. And I've stuck to that. Some of my workouts, 20 minutes, maybe, are some of them 10 minutes, maybe. But that has really helped, I think, me mentally to something and stick to it, to prioritize just something for me, sharing my workout space with my daughter.
Yeah.
Still for me. Well, my physical therapist. I go to physical therapy every week.
Mhm.
Lauren.
Oh, Lauren. Yeah, yeah. She has been amazing. Well, I met her actually through my neighborhood. I didn't know she lived in my neighborhood until she offered like this free pelvic workout after postpartum. And I was like, yeah, I want to go do that. So that's kind of how I met. And then I realized she was my neighbor. And then here we are teaching prenatal and all this stuff.
So I feel like we have a lot of 6 degrees of separation. But I obviously met her and sought her after I gave birth,
Mm.
but I still see her weekly, more so for other orthopedic injuries. But I was
Okay.
with her this week because I was able to rock my daughter to sleep the other night, and I haven't been able to do that in a while. She's a three-nager, and that's just not
Mm.
cool anymore. But I rocked her to sleep, and she's still in a crib, and I had to essentially body weight squat her up and lift her
Yeah.
over the crib. I had such a profound moment being like, motherhood is so athletic. It is
Mhm.
requires so much of us, not only mentally, but physically. And I am
Mhm.
glad that I prioritized, you know, the sporadic workouts
The
through
movement, yeah.
through pregnancy. And I was pretty miserably sick most of it. But
Mm.
when I had those glimmers of not being in the trash can, then it was like,
Yeah.
okay, the fact that I committed to those 3 workouts per week allowed me to be what made me feel like a better mom, that I was
Yeah.
able to rock my daughter to sleep and
And,
still
like, freaking
40
yeah,
pound dead weight over a crib and dodge all the stuffies and like,
get out of the room safely.
yes, and I was able to tiptoe out.
Mm.
So that was just a really fun moment of motherhood for me, and
That's a win. That's awesome.
how I've been able to connect it back to like, okay, because I've prioritized and allowed my
Mm.
to make me a priority of just a few days a week. We're not talking anything
And I love
profound.
that it's not like I work out 60 minutes every day. It's like even that 10-minute can just shift your mindset and just how you approach showing up for everyone.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Even my husband is always like, I think you need to go work out.
Well, I get
Okay.
that way too. I'm like, I feel like I just need to go walk because something's not, I need to be better. You can feel when you're
Everyone's
off.
bothering me, and
Yeah,
they're all
everyone's bothering me. I think I need to
like,
go work out. Yes. Well, that's
so
awesome. I have not been so regimented with it, but I know my body. I'm listening to my body. I'm like, okay, I need to get movement because I also feel so much better, mindset especially, just to handle life, I think, when I
yeah,
move my body.
yeah. I've as I've voiced, I've had to step away from my yoga mat. I've found that it's almost like a meditation in a sense where
Mm,
like, okay, my body is busy as I'm exercising, but I'm
mm.
able to stop a lot of the chatter of work of being needed for somebody else. It's like, okay, I can focus solely on me. And that's very hard to do once you become a mom.
It's hard to prioritize that time too, because you're like, could I be doing something else? But by doing it, you're able to do more. So,
Yeah,
yeah, it
absolutely.
works out. Well, that's awesome. So, I kind of want to dive into a little bit more. I started this podcast because I didn't realize I had so many women around me that also have like multi passions or into different wellness businesses or different hobbies that they do. And I wanted to know if people are in that same boat, if they are also a mom, is there any advice that you would give to someone wanting to start something, whether that's health and wellness or just something outside of motherhood,
I would say just to start.
right?
Like,
That's the hardest part, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely just start. There was 1 year, I was pretty young, but there was 1 year where I made my New Year's resolution to be more spontaneous.
Ooh.
And so I'm a Gemini. So
Mm.
half of me is like, yes, that's the best thing you could ever decide. And the other half is having like a full blown panic attack. And it's like, sell sheet, don't make that your New Year's resolution. And that's very typical for all of me. But it was such a fun year to just be like, yeah, sure, I'll
Yeah,
do
why not?
that. And I have found professionally when I've said yes, that's what's given me the biggest growth person and the biggest growth opportunities in any line of work by saying yes and just doing it, saying yes and figuring it out
As you go,
at
everything's figured out. It's going back to work. Yeah. Was
every
there something, it kind of felt like there was something that resonated a little bit when you were talking about just doing it. Was there something in the past that you found success because you kind of just went for it without really overthinking it? Or was there some kind of business success or personal success of something?
I honestly can hang my career hat on that model. I started teaching group aerobics, specifically Zumba in
Mm.
college. And I ended up interning for the rec center at my university.
Mhm.
Like, hey, we need a sub for spinning. And I was like, well, I can do it.
Ooh.
Taken a few spinning
I was like,
classes.
did you know how to teach?
Had I taught? No. But they were like, okay, great. Like, we'll put you on the sub for next week. And it was like, let me do all the research and all the things. I found myself specifically in group fitness. It was just like, you need a sub, I'll do it.
Yeah,
And it was
I
just
love
saying,
that.
like, I'll do it and then I'll figure it out. Of course, I
Mhm.
very quickly, like, got certified and did my due diligence to make sure that I had the correct scope of practice and I kept everybody safe. But it was just like, I'm going to say yes and then go for it. I did the same thing with when I had my first anytime fitness job.
Mm.
Uh, I'm pretty sure the owner didn't even know he really hired me, but he was like, "Oh, you hired her?" And I said, "Yeah, I am." And then there you go. I've been with that company
I
for
love that.
13 years now. So it's just, yeah, that approach of like say yes and figure it out because you might not get that opportunity to say yes
That
again.
is true. The other thing that helps me, I don't know if this helps you too, is if I like put something on the calendar like this with you, is like, okay, then I have to do it. Otherwise, I don't get around to it, even if I'm not 100% ready. But we're going to go for it and I'm going to learn. And that's part of life, right? It's messy and we'll just see where it goes.
And it's authentic. And
Yeah.
you try so hard to fit the half of me that's on an Excel sheet in every aspect of
Mm.
my life. Like if suddenly you don't fall in the correct cell on your Excel sheet, like it could cause turmoil. Absolutely chaos and turmoil. But it's like if you just go for it and luckily I've been able to land on my feet more times. There have been some messy falls too, but more blessings than not by taking that approach to life and motherhood
That's
too.
when you're a first time mom, you kind of have to just go through it. Like no matter how much you research, you just have to like figure out your kid and figure out your routine, regardless of what works for other people. So it's just constantly learning and just showing up every day and starting fresh and hoping
You're
for a better day.
so right. You're so right. Yes,
Yes.
and spontaneously do whatever that child needs in that exact given moment. So maybe that was a little foreshadowing. My career helped me strengthen my
Oh,
to just to be more flexible, to get off the Excel sheet and be like, hey,
yep.
mother, allow for that.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's awesome. Is there something, or I guess, what motivates you as a human, as a mom, as a businesswoman, when things get hard? Like, what do you kind of turn to kind of help you get through that?
That's a hard question.
I'm so sorry. I get all these hard questions today. I was like,
You
this
have
will be easy.
a lot of really good questions. No, this has been good. I haven't like been in a seat to have a lot of these like thought-provoking questions.
Mm,
Like reflect, like I said, when
yeah. It's
are
like,
you
mom,
like
it's like,
you stuck to your yoga mat? Is that the time that you can like truly reflect on life and philosophy? And I haven't been challenged to do that. Thank
ooh,
being my
you're
yoga mat.
welcome. You're welcome.
Can you tell I'm stalling?
Oh, I
Um,
love it.
ask me the question again.
When things get hard, whether that's personally, professionally, in mom or in business, what's something that helps you get through that overwhelming or motivates you to keep going?
It is absolutely my daughter. And
I'm gonna cry.
it is. It's my daughter. It's like it's funny because, those early moments in postpartum, especially for
Hmm.
working moms, it's like all you want to do is be like say no to everything else and just be a mom.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh,
Snuggle
but
them.
it wasn't necessarily an option for
Yeah.
our unit to do that. And I also know how much I love my career. So
Mm.
it's like, okay, I know that Meredith is still in there. So I didn't want to step away from it, even if I could. But it was like, okay, if I throw myself so fully into my daughter when I'm not at work, like when work is hard and I like
Hmm.
fully put myself into motherhood, it's like that reminder that like, okay, I'm really good at momming. And also
Mm.
like when motherhood is really hard, I can like throw myself into my work.
Mm.
Okay, I am pretty good at what I do, professionally. So I guess really kind of depends on what's being
What the hard? Yeah.
what the
What the?
heart is. And the other
Yeah.
thing reminds me that I'm capable of like, a month ago work was hard, but I was able to get through it. And it's like
Mhm.
okay, that now if parenthood is hard or if my relationship is hard or
Yeah.
whatever that hard is, I've been able to get through the hard in the other facets of life. So why is motherhood any different?
Yeah. That's
But
awesome.
I wish that do you have a book that you could recommend that so it's just like a lot easier than these like let me grind my way through the difficult moments?
I know it would be easy if we just had a roadmap. Like, are you experiencing this? This is what you do. But it seems like just you reminding yourself of your capability, surviving or getting through something difficult, is that enough to motivate you to get through something again? It seems like. Because,
Yeah.
like, you got through something hard. Like, I've done this before. I know I'm capable. I know I'm smart. I know I'm a great mom. I know I'm great at my job. And it kind of just propels you to keep going, which I think
Yeah.
is amazing. Because
Yeah.
you
And
are all those things. And I can see those things in
oh,
your job, in your
you
momming.
are. You
Yeah,
are.
you are. No, B
I'm
is so
so
sweet.
I'm just so lucky to like the women around me, especially now that you're in
Mm.
this like, secret society of motherhood. Like I really feel
Yeah.
like once you become a mom, you're like, oh, now I get it. But I've been able to like surround myself, especially only being a handful of years into this city, that I've been able to come across other mothers and other women
Hmm.
uh, to have conversations like this. Uh,
Hmm.
so I'm very lucky that I've been able to cross paths with people like you and my physical therapist that I mentioned,
Yes.
and all of that. That so many of you relate to, your kid probably being the biggest motivator to do.
Hmm. Yeah, I know. Just saying, I don't know if it's like you, like I love them, and then I'll put them to sleep. I'm like, cool, they needed sleep, and they're like, oh crap, I miss you. You know what I mean? Like, what
Yes.
is that? I look at pictures of her, and then she wakes up like, why are you up? But I'm like trying to look pictures at you.
Just go to sleep,
I
please.
know.
I
It's
I
so
always think
crazy.
how like I so look forward to Friday afternoon to go pick her up from daycare. And I'm like, waiting for the weekend. And
Oh,
then like I'm like late Sunday night. I'm like, I can't wait for
wait,
Monday.
forgot. It's so weird. It's so weird.
So
Oh, that's
good
awesome.
problem to have.
Well, thank you so much for answering my questions. Now, I kind of want to just end out our conversation just with some fun, hopefully not too deep, but more fun questions for you, just so I can kind of get to know you more. What is a guilty pleasure that actually makes you feel alive or recharged? It could
Al-
be anything.
Alone time.
Alone time? That's
Alone time.
wonderful. Okay, does
I
it have to be like in a certain place or does it mean anywhere? Like in your car?
I mean, I could concoct like the most dreamy alone time for sure.
Yeah.
I will say for my birthday this past year, my birthday's in June, and I said, all I want to do for my birthday is have breakfast in bed with my daughter, then go to yoga by myself, sit by the pool at the adult pool, not the public pool with the slide, sit by the adult pool and just like lay there and rot. Then I came home and then I had pizza with my family, and it was perfect because I
That's
got
amazing.
to be so motherly in the morning. And it was like, I'm going to unplug and do everything by myself. I think I got Starbucks by myself. It was
Yes.
then, of course, coming home and, having birthday cake with my daughter and, forcing my husband to sing me happy birthday. It was great.
Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome. That sounds basically for me too. It's like any alone time, like sometimes driving in the car with my music instead of Winnie the Pooh. That's like pretty cool.
There's something to be said about pulling into the driveway
Yeah.
and then like sitting there, like
And like,
not going inside yet when you're by
mhm.
yourself.
Yes, just that space. It feels really good.
It does.
That's awesome. Okay, so that was one of them. If you could have a superpower for one day, what would it be and how would you use it as a mom and an entrepreneur?
It would be to fly.
That's a good one. Tell me more though.
So I am a daughter of a flight attendant or retired flight
I did not
attendant.
know that.
And and because of that, my network for the most part is very sprinkled across the US, across the world. So I would love to be able to fly. And like professionally, it would be fun because my big girl job, we own, and I don't own, but I work for a company that owns multiple Anytime Fitnesses across the US. Anytime Fitness is global. So I'm like, ooh, I could like fly and see all the employees. I could fly overseas, just cut through the Australia Anytime Fitness and get a quick work.
Ooh.
But then personally too, I'd be able to bring my daughter along and see my network, which
Yeah.
my friends were everywhere. Family is everywhere. So yeah, I would just like frolic the world in my with my wings.
That would be amazing. I love that. That's such a great, thoughtful answer to that. I don't think I would know what mine would be right now, to be
You know,
honest.
I was
No. So don't ask me. This is
yeah,
about you. Okay. And then the last question is what's one thing you've done recently that scared you, but it also made you proud at the same time?
well, since I mentioned my big girl job, I've been in gym management, well, just the gym world,
Yeah.
gym management specifically since 2015. And I had the opportunity to step away from gym management and get into more of corporate role of human resources, overseeing multiple gyms.
Oh.
Terrifying to leave something I know I was really good at and step into something that I don't know if I'm good at. I'll have to ask my bosses after this.
Yeah.
But I knew it was the right move for me professionally. And it was kind of that pivotal moment I'd mentioned when it was like, do I go back to physical therapy
Mm,
school? Do I
yeah.
pursue nutrition? I was ready for that next challenge. And this opportunity presented itself. And it's been such a blessing. It's been hard, but it has been a blessing professionally. It's been a blessing personally terrifying, but wonderful. So I said yes when I had the opportunity.
Yeah, look at you. You're just wrapping everything up so perfectly.
Out.
That's awesome. When did that career change happen? I'm sorry if you already mentioned it. Was it recently to the
So
HR?
I'll say I like double dipped. I was
Okay.
managing and took on some responsibilities of being
Okay.
in 20 was what, March of 23?
23. Okay.
No, of 24, excuse me, March of 24. And then January of 2025, I had to throw in the towel and
Go.
said, I
Okay.
can't
Do
do
both.
both. I'm doing really okay at both. And that's not okay for me. I
Yeah.
want to be really good at the things that I do. This whole calendar year, I've hung up my gym management hat,
Aw.
but luckily I can still wear an Anytime Fitness hat and show up to work.
That's amazing. Well, I appreciate you so much for taking the time to chat with me today, kind of get to know a little bit more about you personally, whether that's professionally or you just as a mom in this community. But I wanted to give you the floor if there's anything you wanted to share, if people wanted to contact you about your business, the Diet Doc Movement, or get more information or contact you, if you wouldn't mind just sharing where to get all your information.
Emily, this has been a breath of fresh air for me. Like, I
Oh,
feel it's fun to connect with you in a different space and to give me the opportunity to reflect on some hard questions. I'm gonna have to
yeah.
ask me all your questions so I can like buff them up a little bit. But okay, where you can find me. So my personal Instagram handle is Pure Movement by Meredith. Our business handle is Feel Good Fat Loss on Instagram, the Diet Doc Movement website and Facebook. That would probably be the easiest way to connect with me. But yeah, I have a podcast too, the Diet Doc Movement.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. So I'll, after this, if you don't mind just emailing me, and I'll make sure to link everything you just said so that way people can click it and find you and get to know you or chat with you more.
I would love that. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here with me today on the Be Well and Ground podcast. I hope this episode has filled your heart with new ideas, inspiration, and a little more peace. Remember, your journey to balance is uniquely yours, and you deserve all the love and joy and the calm that comes with it. If you enjoyed today's show, I'd be so grateful if you could share it with someone who might need it, or if you could leave a review to help others find this space of support and inspiration, that would be so much appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode filled with heart and healing. Until next time, take a moment to breathe, honor yourself, and know that you really are doing an amazing job. Sending you so much love and light. Have a wonderful day.